In this video, I'm going to look at foreign guys who decide to date and have a relationship with a married Filipina, and more particularly if doing so is a good choice for a foreigner. Now, we're all certainly free to date whoever we want, but the purpose of this video is to pass on factual information so you can make a fully informed decision without having any surprises pop up later on that could make your life and relationship rather difficult. So if you're thinking of dating a Filipina or have recently commenced dating a Filipina, then this video will certainly be valuable to you and could indeed save you many problems in the future. So be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. Now, I'm certainly not saying that a married Filipina is not a good person in any way, but we need to look at, when dating a married Filipina, the potential problems that can get in the way of the relationship and also the impact that this can have on you. And there are some facts that you need to be aware of when searching for a Filipina, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why it's so important that you're aware of the facts, because potentially being in a relationship with a married Filipina in the Philippines could land you in jail or cost you money. Now, the first thing you must know is that when a Filipina is married in the Philippines, then she's married unless one of the following things take place. Her husband passes away, or she has successfully been granted an annulment, or has been granted a divorce under Muslim or Sharia law, or her divorce to a foreign man in a foreign country has been recognised by the Philippines government. Now, if none of these things have taken place, then it doesn't matter if she's been separated for 30 years, because under Filipino law, she's still classed as a married woman. Now, some naive foreign guys may say, "Oh well, I don't mind," or they may say that they'll just get her an annulment. Well, perhaps you really should mind, and you'll come to learn that annulments are not guaranteed to be approved, and they can take several years to get to court, and they can cost you several thousands of dollars. So really, before you get in too deep in a relationship with a married Filipina, you may want to see this video to the end. So being that she's still classed as legally married in the Philippines, and by the way, you can get what they call a CENAMA, or Certificate of No Marriage, to confirm if she's legally married or not. You must also be aware that adultery in the Philippines is also illegal. Simply that means if you have any type of physical relationship with a married woman in the Philippines, then you and she are breaking the laws of the land. She can be charged with adultery and you under concubinage laws, both of which can carry up to 6 years in a Filipino jail if found guilty. It all sounds a very heavy penalty for just being with the woman you love. But the reality is that it doesn't matter what you and I think of the law, because that's their laws in the Philippines. And when you're in that country, you're under their laws and can be charged as such. Some guys may just throw caution to the wind and say it's not likely either of them will be charged, and perhaps they're right. But it's a known fact that foreign guys over the years have been kept in a Filipino jail to await trial, which can take a few years, which is something I wouldn't wish on anyone. And then the other thing you have to worry about, as if the possibility of going to jail wasn't enough, you may have to contend with someone threatening to have you charged under adultery laws unless you can find it in your heart to depart with some cold hard pesos. One must realise that the Philippines is a developing country where money can be hard to come by for some people. And who knows what lengths a person is prepared to go to in order to have a more comfortable lifestyle, even if it's in the short term. It could be the husband who hasn't been with her in 5 years, or one of her siblings, friends, relatives, or workmates. Who knows? But what they know is that you're technically breaking the law, and this is a chance to make from you in a short time what they may take a year or two to earn. Simply, you're putting opportunity right in front of their face, and someone may very well see and like that opportunity, and so they go after it. Whilst that person may have no real intent to see you in prison, the thing is you don't know for sure, and who of us really wants to take that risk? Simply, this is what can happen when in the Philippines if we decide to be in a relationship with a married woman. I'm surprised at how many men aren't aware of the laws in the Philippines, and when they find out, they're totally shocked. But because they've fallen in love, what are they to do? Do they then cease the relationship and leave both himself and the Filipina heartbroken? Or does he visit her in the Philippines and hope that he doesn't get blackmailed or thrown into jail? Either way, it's not a great way to be when all of this could have been avoided if you're aware of the laws in the Philippines from the start and searched for a single Filipina. Now that you're fully aware of the consequences of being in a romantic relationship with a married Filipina, there are a few things you may be able to do in order to minimise the risk should you continue your relationship. But I stress, what I say here only minimises the risks and doesn't eliminate them. Firstly, don't advertise the fact on social media that the two of you are together. And certainly don't be posting happy snaps together in resorts or motel rooms, as doing so is only giving unscrupulous people proof to land you in very hot water should they choose to on your next visit to the Philippines. Secondly, as much as you'd love to visit her home province or city and meet her family and friends, don't do so while ever she remains a married woman. Now, I know this sounds over the top and it's no doubt disappointing, but you really don't know who you may come across, and being there just provides more incentive for someone to file a complaint or try and get some money from you. And of course, if you're there in her hometown, then you're a sitting duck. So if you're going to be in a relationship with a married woman when in the Philippines, you need to play it smart and be with her far away from her hometown. Meet up together on another island where she knows no one, or I've even heard of some guys meeting her in another country. And be sure that your Filipina understands that she can't be telling anyone where the two of you will be spending your time, because the grapevine in the Philippines travels very quickly. Now again, I know this all sounds rather extreme, but if you want to reduce the risks, then this is the sort of thing you need to be doing if you decide to be in a relationship with a married Filipina. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.